Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. This is Stephen Williams, and I want to welcome you to Behind the Veil. This is such an great opportunity and a great day. So, everybody, come on in and share it. This night, tonight, is going to be an absolutely marvelous night as we continue celebrating women. And I have a very special guest tonight. It's going to be so good. I promise you, you're going to really enjoy her and enjoy her story and enjoy all the things that surrounding her and what has happened. I can't wait. She's a home girl that has done big things. I'm talking about big things. and I am excited. Again, I want to welcome everybody. Come on in. This is Stephen Williams. They call me the Good Bishop, but I want to welcome you to Behind the Veil. We're talking about some stuff, and we're just celebrating. Y'all know how we do. Now, the first thing I got to do is play our song of the week. I'm going to play a little short version of one of the songs that I've done. This song, my CD need to come out. I'm waiting on my cover to come out. And so when I finish with the cover, as soon as the cover gets done, I'm going to put this puppy out on all of the platforms so y'all can get this music and download it and send that money on over here so I can get a bio like my guest, so I can say I did something real big and y'all buy up the CD. But for tonight, it's right here. It's going to be on tonight. This is a perfect thing for tonight, because the song says I can do all things. I can do all things, and my God, has she done all things through and with the help of the Lord and with some wonderful things. So please come on in, share it, and welcome to Behind the Veil. Here's our song of the week. It is by yours truly. It was mixed and mastered by Sonny Miles, my boy, and it's called. It's supposed to be coming out. It's coming out on a new CD called Good Ground. Good Ground is going to be the name of the CD. And so here we go with I Can Do All Things. And let's roll with it right here. And this is all me in the background, I think, on this one. Oh my goodness. This is just the music part. Yeah. So it ain't even no vocals. This is just the vibe of me doing it. I can do all things. I can do all things. Oh, with Christ that strengthened me. I can do all things. Whatever. I guess I got to sing tonight. Whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Say it again. I can do all things. Oh, I can do all things. I can do it. I ain't prepared to sing tonight, y'all. Sorry. Do what I'm told. I can do it. Oh, and I can reach my goal. Promise I can grab a hold. Hey, if he wants me to walk right, I can do it. What about talk right? I can do it. And do the will on my mind. Yes, I can do all things. Whatever. I can do all things. Whatever he wants, I can do all things. Say it again. I can do all things. Oh, I can do all. Y'all getting a concert tonight. I can do all things. Whatever he wants. Yeah. I can do all things. Sing right. I can do all things. I can preach right. I can even do right. Christ is strengthening me. Come on. Do what I do. I can do it. Go. I can reach all of my goals. His promise, I can grab a hold. If he wants me to walk right, I can do it. What about talk right?
I can do it.
To the will
I can do it.
on my mind.
Through Christ that strengthens me.
I can do
All things.
whatever,
All things.
whatever he commands.
All things.
I'm qualified for it.
Through Christ that strengthens me.
Say it again.
All things.
All things, yes sir.
All things.
I can reach all of my goals.
All things.
Yes I can.
Through
Whoa,
Christ that strengthens me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can do all things.
Clap your hands
I can do all things.
to everybody out there doing something.
All things.
You can do all things through Christ.
That strengthens me.
Yes, you can.
I can do it.
It doesn't matter what's going on. You can do it.
I can do it.
The problems you can solve. I'm telling you, through Christ, it strengthens me. Hey, y'all, again, Stephen Williams here. Welcome to Behind the Veil. They call me the good bishop. I am excited tonight. I didn't mean to give y'all a concert. I didn't have no voice to do that. And I wouldn't have done that if I had picked the right track. But I'm going to blame that on myself because I chose the one that didn't have my voice already done on it. And so, listen, I have a marvelous, marvelous guest tonight. And we're going to laugh about it because when we were in Rockingham, all I knew is that she was I call it, she was a pretty girl who was a cheerleader and she was smart. That's all I knew. I think she was about 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years behind me. And so when I was a senior, I think maybe she was sophomore. And back then, seniors didn't talk to sophomores because they were really freshmen to us. They were just in 10th grade. We went to school from 7 to 9, and then we went from 10 to 12. And so if you were a senior, you really didn't talk to the people who were, this is why we kind of didn't hang out, but she was a cheerleader on the JV squad. I was already on varsity. She was a cheerleader on the JV squad. And so I didn't talk to her, nothing like that. But boy, I got all of them right. She is pretty. She still is pretty. She is smart. She still is smart, and she still look like she can get into her cheerleading outfit because she's a fitness fanatic. And so I called it 30 plus years ago. And so when I was able to call her up, she was like, yes, I'd love to do this. I am celebrating women. And boy, do I have one tonight that is absolutely worth the celebration. Check this out as I read her bio. Monique Ferguson Stewart. She is the first African-American female engineer to be hired at the Federal Railroad Administration. And we're going to call that the FRA, the Federal Railroad Administration. Under the United States Department of Transportation, she started her railroad career immediately after college in 1993, working on, get this, locomotives at CSX Transportation in Jacksonville, Florida, until 1995, where she joined FRA in Washington, D.C. She is currently, get this, a senior program manager, mechanical engineer in FRA's Office of Research, Development and Technology, overseeing projects related to rolling stock equipment and components such as brakes, wheels, roller bearings, and equipment health monitoring. Ms. Stewart also serves as the team lead for Workforce Development Administration, addressing railroad industry workforce challenges and helping to sustain and diversify the future railroad workforce. That's one thing. She is also proud of her role in executing FRA's mission through research and development of innovative and technological solutions to ensure Americans' railroads are operating safely through all communities. Monique oversees a diverse project portfolio with a budget that has totaled almost $90 million. Can I get 10% of that at the crib? She has authored or co-authored, get this, over 60 technical publications and papers. She has traveled the world. I thought this was funny. She has traveled the world exchanging and sharing her research on both national and international platforms and conferences in Brazil, Canada, Germany, South Africa, Italy, Portugal, Australia, Japan, and Spain. And then she had the nerve enough to put this, y'all, to name a few locations. Really? Really? Is that how we rolling? Uh, during her time at FRA, Monique served as a senior policy advisor in the office of the chief human capital officer at the U.S. At what I call the U.S. Equal Opportunity Employment Opportunity Commission, where her focus area includes diversity and inclusion, training, career development, and mentoring. Monique also served as a congressional analyst at the Congressional Research Service in the Library of Congress, where she provided technical assistance to the U.S. government, House and Senate Appropriations Committee. You done talk to the people, and co-authored several report publications to Congress. You done talk to the people in Congress. I ain't been nowhere near that. Monique also served as in a special assignment in the U.S. Department of State Bureau of Cultural Affairs. Hey, I got a grant from them one time. You can often find Monique sharing her passion for science, technology, engineering, and math. We call it STEM, and her railroad career experience with students, encouraging them to consider STEM-related studies and railroading as a career of choice. She earned her degrees under a dual degree program. Told y'all she was smart. She earned a mechanical engineer degree from Georgia Tech, and she is also an HBCU graduate of North Carolina Central University. I know my niece is throwing up the eagle sign right now, where she earned her mathematics degree and became a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. We call them the AKAs. Listen, I want you to put your hand together, and I want you to show some love for my friend from back at the crib, Miss Monique Ferguson Stewart. I am so extremely happy to have you on Behind the Veil.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. I appreciate it.
You have done
our conversation.
You have done a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
You have accomplished quite a bit. And let me say this right on the onset of this. I want to celebrate you and thank you for coming on. But you have definitely been what Maya Angelou has said. You want to talk about phenomenal woman. You have done that from Little old Rockingham.
From Little old Rockingham, Little old Richmond County.
Little old Richmond County. You know, made Richmond County proud.
Oh, so, thank you.
I am so happy. Welcome to Behind the Veil.
Thank you. I'm so glad and happy and proud to be here.
Listen, let's go back because you and I you knew me back then when I was skinny and I was an athlete. So let's those two things. Skinny, tall, and I was an athlete. See, these people don't know me like that. They don't remember that I used to do that. So they didn't see that part. But tell me, this 15-year-old person, this 15-year-old student is becoming an engineer what you wanted, or were you going to be doctor, lawyer, Supreme Court justice? What were you going to be?
Well, I knew I really loved math and science. So I knew I was going to do something in that field, something technical. I was actually kind of also contemplating something, related to computers. But after doing some research and just trying to figure out, okay, what discipline, what career field could I do that definitely is a nice combination of both math and science. And I knew I like to do things with my hands. I like to take things apart, put them back together. So after doing a little bit of research and talking to some friends and family, I decided that engineering was what I wanted to do. Now, I didn't decide that at 15. I will say I really decided that more so in high school, probably about 12th grade. When I started talking to the counselors and stuff about what I wanted to do and trying to figure out what schools I wanted to go to in order to accomplish that goal. So, I had decided on engineering, and I was actually kind of flip-flopping back and forth between two disciplines in engineering. I either wanted to do chemical engineering or mechanical engineering. So I knew I wanted to do engineering. I just wasn't exactly sure which discipline, as I was leaving high school. So I sort of decided that later.
I love it. First of all, I pulled up my comments, and this is hilarious. Okay, I had to stop because some guy named Todd Stewart said that's Mrs. Stewart. Wait a minute, and then put back on there Bishop. He talking about that's Mrs. Stewart Bishop.
Who is that man?
And then he put this. She's so beautiful. I'd ask her to marry me, but she's already my wife. Hello, sir. Hello. I haven't met you, but yes, this is Mrs. Stewart, and I love it. Thank you, Todd. I haven't met you, but thank you, Todd, for allowing me to have this moment with your beautiful wife.
Oh, Lord. You know what?
It sounds like that's fun already.
He keeps me laughing. Yes, he is. He's making it fun already. Thanks for joining us, sweetie. Oh, my goodness.
I love it already.
Oh, gosh.
And so
our viewers are acting up out there.
Already. And so tell me the difference, those different engineering, why did you want to become that? And where did you, I don't remember that being a hot topic in Richmond County when we were younger. I don't remember a lot of people talking about being engineers. There were lawyers, there were doctors, all that good stuff. There were, but nobody in that. So where did you get that in that frame of mind from?
Yeah. Again, I just kind of did research, and I think I remember actually talking to one of our teachers, Miss Foreman, about options of things, things that I could do once I graduated, and I just sort of landed on engineering. And you're right, there was no one really in Richmond County that did engineering, that was in an engineering career field. But I talked to my dad, I talked to several people that he knew, and just decided, hey, I think this is what I want to do, and I also researched it a little bit more once I got to North Carolina Central University. A lot of my teachers there kind of helped me to decide exactly what I wanted to do, which discipline of engineering as well. So, but yeah, I didn't really get into the, and we can get into this later, but I studied liberal art, the math at North Carolina Central University, and didn't get into the engineering totally until I got to Georgia Tech. And then that's when I decided, I took a few classes in the other disciplines of engineering. I took an electrical engineering class, a chemical engineering class, and a mechanical engineering class. And that's when I decided I'm sticking with mechanical. I could not see the electricity, so that wasn't going to work for me. And the chemical, just forget it. Yeah.
Just forget it.
All those chemicals. No. Yeah. I couldn't even remember. Yeah. The periodic table, all that. Forget it.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that either. In fact, that I didn't even know any of that. So forget it. Just out. So tell me about the family dynamics. Because I wanted to, there are two things that I wanted to bring out about this. Because you did not come from the perfect family dynamic. And so I want to definitely talk to people about making it without coming from, the perfect dynamic. So tell us a little bit about the family dynamic and how did y'all end up in Rockingham? Because you weren't born in Rockingham, correct?
Correct. No, I was not. Yeah, I was not born in Rockingham. we didn't move to Rockingham until I was in 7th grade. So, and at that point we had lived up north in New York, New Jersey, Illinois, because my dad's job required that he travel quite a bit. He wasn't in the military, but he was, with a different company that, required him to travel quite a bit. So, when I got to 7th grade, that is when, mom and dad decided to go their separate ways, which, it's fine with me. Sometimes you decide you can't live together. So that's when we moved to Rockingham, which is where my mom is from. All of her family is, pretty much from Rockingham, in the Piney Grove area out that way. So, and we were familiar with Rockingham because we went there, of course, like most kids do from the north, we would go there during the summers. So, so we moved to Rockingham. I was around 7th, 8th grade time frame. And I started school there at Rockingham Junior High School. And it was my mom and my 2 sisters. So I have 2 younger sisters. I'm the oldest. And we settled right there in little humble Rockingham. It was different.
I told Monique, I said, I didn't even know you had no sisters. I ain't never see you guys outside of like Richmond County. Richmond Senior High School. I wouldn't have seen you like outside of that realm anywhere. And so we were laughing. Beverly and I were talking about it. And I said, I don't even remember seeing anything about her other than she was cheering. That's all I remember. But I was in my own world anyway.
Yeah. You were in your own world. Remember, you didn't speak to us anyway. So
I didn't speak to y'all. Talking to y'all.
You were the upperclassmen, so what you gonna do with us little people, us little JVs?
So the dynamics is what I want to share with people is that you don't have to have the perfect scenario. What you have to have is some level of commitment. So just like we heard from the judge last week, we're finding out like in high school, she knew she wanted to be this engineer. And that's where she wanted to focus. And so why did you choose? A&T had a great engineering program. And so why did you go to Central? Was there something family about that, or you just, that was where you landed? Or is that where you got all the scholarships to go?
I know, right? Scholarships do help. That does help to make the decision. So yes, I did get scholarships, but just a little story. When I did the debutante cotillion. I'm sure you heard of that. I don't even know. You may have escorted somebody to the debutante.
I think
ball.
So.
Yeah, debutante ball, debutante cotillion. So when I was doing that, I think how many times I did? I think it was that one time. But anyway, we did a college tour, and we went to North Carolina Central University.
Okay.
During the debutante cotillion, that was part of our activities. And when I went to North Carolina Central, they talked about, well, first of all, when I stepped on the campus, I don't know, it just kind of hit me. It's like I can't explain it, but it just kind of it spoke to me, and it was like, okay, I feel like I'm home here. Everybody was just so nice. Students were speaking to you, telling you all about the experience they were having, the campus, the teachers were nice, the administration were nice. But when I went to talk to the head of the math department, they told me about this program called the dual degree program. And so under the dual degree program, you would go to an HBCU liberal arts school for 3 years, and then transfer to either Georgia Tech or MIT for 2 years to finish out. Yeah, so you get 2 degrees. You get the 1 degree in math or science from the liberal arts HBCU, and then you transfer to the engineering school and get your engineering degree. So as soon as he explained that program to me, I was like, sign me up. I'm here.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, oh, that's even better. Not only did I feel at home and felt like I was around family, but when he, told me about that engineering program, the dual degree program, I said, well, absolutely yes. Because honestly, when I was talking to my counselor at Richmond Senior, I was trying to figure out, I want to go into engineering, and I want to go to the top engineering schools, one of the top engineering schools in the nation. And I knew that was either Georgia Tech or MIT. But then I was also torn because I said, wow, I really wanted to I wanted the experience of an HBCU also. But like you said, the only HBCU that I knew of at the time that had an engineering program was North Carolina A&T. And so I was kind of considering, A&T for a while too. Just side note, my sister, she graduated mechanical engineering from A&T, so nothing against A&T. And now my son goes there, so
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
still love.
She done put it up. Talking about, yes, sir, Aggie Pride.
Oh, no, she did.
Oh, they showing out tonight. Your people.
These folks, these viewers are showing out tonight.
These are your viewers. She's showing out tonight.
Showing out.
Showing up her side.
Ain't nobody tell you to come on here and put no Aggie Pride up on there. I'm Eagle Pride all the way. Okay.
I love it.
Oh God! But my other sister, now she went the right way. Lisa went to North Carolina Central University. So yeah, Marissa, she decided the other way. But you know,
she prepping it. She prepping it too.
She prepping it.
Come on, Lisa. Come on, for the Eagles. Come on.
Eagle Pride. No, yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, so that's what I decided to do because I said, well, yeah, because I was going back to my story, I was torn between going to an HBCU or going directly to the engineering school. But once I heard about the program that was offered at North Carolina Central, and actually this program is offered at several HBCUs, Morehouse, Spelman, etc. So anyway, once I heard that, you know, I was ready to sign on the dotted line. That I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I went to Central, majored in math, and Georgia Tech, majored in mechanical engineering. So I did go to Central for 3 years, and then Georgia Tech for 2 years. And thank God I did. I'm so glad I did it that way because I got my foundation and, you know, the confidence and just knowing who I am, the woman that I am today, that a lot of that happened at North Carolina Central University.
Wow. This is something that because I was going to ask you, it's not even a part of my thing, you know, what was your experience like at an HBCU with us coming from, can I say this? Well, both of us from Rockingham. You know, Rockingham was not as diverse or wasn't as ethnic as it should have been or could have been. You know, it was we missed that. So when you get to this HBCU moment, how was that for you? Because we went from all, you know, white friends to basically to a whole bunch of black people. I mean, we were straight there with all of us. So how was your experience? And did you meet your husband there? Is that where you met your husband?
Actually, I met my husband in Atlanta when I was at Georgia Tech. So.
When you were at Georgia Tech. Okay, good. Yeah. I just remember seeing what looked like baby pictures. Y'all look like little baby pictures. God, I'm talking about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I met him in Atlanta. That's a whole nother story in itself, how that happened. Because we didn't know each other at all. And so we just kind of met in Atlanta. And my sisters were with me. Anyway, that's another story. But he was chasing me around the underground mall in Atlanta. That's all I'm gonna say.
I believe it.
And he's probably gonna hop on and say something different, but don't let him fool you. But anyway, getting back to the story. So HBCU experience. Oh my goodness. It was just incredible. Well, first of all, yes, it was sort of culture shock when I first got there, because like you said, coming from the one and only high school in the county, the one and only public high school in the county, Richmond Senior High, the demographics were a little different once I got to once I got to Central. It was a little bit of a culture shock, but it didn't take me long to get over it. I was like, yes, I am here with my people. Yeah. It's all about the culture. Right. And the culture is real. I don't care what HBCU you go to, the culture is real. And it's just, they all have such a rich history. It's nothing, your people are there. It offers just a terrific learning experience and just a dedicated community of professors and students and administration that look like you. They're like-minded like you, high-achieving individuals that look like me. I wasn't used to that. Yeah, definitely. And it translated to me that, yes, I can be successful. I can be successful too. I'm seeing people that look like me that are successful and that care about my success, genuinely care, sincerely care. The teachers did, the students did. We helped each other. We were not going to let each other fail. So, that was just the best college experience that I had. Like I said, it just gives you, HBCU gave me a sense of foundation and appreciation for who I am, helped me to be my authentic self without having to worry about outside forces and entities that may have been against me, not wanting to see me fail, not wanting to see me succeed.
Right.
So, that's kind of what I got from my HBCU experience. And you just can't get that anywhere else, that diverse and inclusive community that you get that celebrates the African American experience. You just can't get that anywhere. So loved it.
Yeah, one of the things that I went to Winston-Salem State, and one of the things that was impressive during that time is that the professors did not, they let you know you were going to experience something totally different when you got into the world. So you had to be prepped, because they used to always tell us that you're going to have to be better than the next person, and you're going to have to know this. You're going to have to research this, and you're going to have to know it for yourself. And they prepared you. So it sounds like, and I went to that cotillion, I think, with our friend Stephanie.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Stephanie, back in the day. And so I know she was at Central during the time that you were at Central, because y'all went over together.
Yes, we sure did. Yep, together. She was my line sister.
Yep. Remember that? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we did that debutante together. Yeah, Miss Han, and who else was it? We had Miss Han there, Miss Foreman.
Yeah, they were always. Yeah. Trust me, I remember.
Yeah. Yes. That was quite an experience. I do remember you were in it. I totally forgot. Miss Fowler. Yeah, I forgot you were in that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was all in that stuff. They were trying to make me smart back in the day, but I just wanted to be an old athlete with Mr. Hand. I was going to be the next Magic Johnson, and didn't realize these people was trying to get me to read a book or two.
Oh gosh.
Instead of just playing ball.
Yes.
Read a book or two.
Yeah, but that was the good thing about Richmond County too, is that everybody knew each other for the most part. So right. I will, we came from humble beginnings, and it was a village, really. Yeah. I mean, everybody knew each other. They knew you. They knew your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle, whomever. So, it was a little hard to get in trouble in Richmond County. Or if you did get in trouble, everybody knew about it, and they were going to sure enough go back and tell your mom or your grandma. So,
yeah. And I managed to do that. I managed to get in trouble. So don't.
You managed to get in trouble? No, you didn't, Stephen. No, not you.
Don't tell nobody. That's another story for another day. Moving on. What is it about engineering that intrigues you? And then this was one of the things. What is it that you're going to need to be an engineer? I made a grave error last week, because we had a lawyer and a judge on, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things she said is, if you don't like reading, you can't be a lawyer, because we see the courtroom antics, but she was saying, if you're not going to read, you will flunk at law and being a judge. So what is it? Is it the math the numbers that intrigue you, or what is it? Bringing stuff together? And what do you need to have to be an engineer? Like, what is that?
Yeah. So, engineers definitely require, to be an engineer, they do a lot with designing like power producing machines, such as like electric generators, internal combustion engines. So you do have to have a mind that's kind of multifaceted, that thinks about, okay, if I have these pieces and parts that are just laying here, they're not put together. You have to be able to visualize what would they look like when I put them together.
Okay.
If they break, what do I need to do to, reassemble them and put them back together and make it work?
Gotcha.
We do a lot of things with like steam and gas turbines and things like that. Power type machines, refrigeration, air conditioning systems. Those are the kind of things that engineers do. Design machines, they're inside buildings or elevators and escalators, and do all sorts of research and testing and manufacturing, operations, marketing, all that kind of stuff. So we're really kind of multifaceted, and it just depends on where you work too. Some mechanical engineers work in, work in factories. Some just work in offices. Like my sister Marissa, she works with a patent and trademark office, so she studies patents for different types of machineries and machinery and instrumentation.
Cool.
So it does. To me, a mechanical engineer is characterized by having personal creativity and just a breadth of knowledge and versatility. And we're just valuable and reliable, multidisciplinary, team members when it comes to working with other teammates as well to put projects together. So, that's kind of what it takes. But for me at FRA, I'm in research and development. So of course I do, just to kind of explain it. So I have inspectors. If you see an accident or derailment on TV,
okay,
I have
those.
Yeah. So I have inspectors that go out there and they collect the evidence. So it's kind of like CSI, they go out to the scene, the accident scene, collect all the evidence. They bring it back to me, to our department, to research and development, and ask us to try to figure out what caused the accident or derailment to happen and what can we do to prevent it from happening again. So we do that type of research. And then we also, kind of do the research to figure out, okay, what can we do to make this equipment better, to make it run better, to make it run safer? Because the whole goal of Federal Railroad Administration, of course, is to make sure that people and goods are moving safely. So that's also the reason why I have to travel all over the world to find out what other countries are doing to make sure their trains are running safely. And so we share the research that we do. They share their research. I share my research. We compare notes and, kind of say, hey, okay, what are you doing that's working? What's not working? Maybe we can try it here in the US. Maybe you can try this. So it's pretty neat. Never a dull moment in the railroad industry, that's for sure. And trains are a larger scale of cars, basically.
Yeah.
Much larger scale.
Yeah. And so so you go to this Georgia Tech and do you internship? Wait, let me tell you, your husband is hilarious. I've never met him, but I like him already. When COVID is over, Todd, the bishop, needs to come and have some food. Todd says, Todd said he done rescued her from the Atlanta Underground. He said,
see, I knew he was going to be acting up. See, I knew.
I'm liking him already. He said he had to rescue you from the underground. Get out from up under there.
I knew it. I told you he was going to come back with something. I
love it.
He rescued me.
So you go to Georgia Tech, and is this the opportunity? Does this opportunity, because we've been talking about this, being in the right place, right time.
Right.
Being prepared, of course.
Yeah.
But is this right place, right time, right moment for you? Because you told me something when we first talked about this railroad business. Because let's talk about when we were in Rockingham.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the railroad place, and neither one of us paid any attention to that train.
Nope. Nope. Sure. Certainly did not. It's quite interesting that when I graduated from college, I ended up working for the railroad, not just the railroad, but CSX Transportation, which was a major employer in Richmond County. Wow. They have the big railroad yard and shop out there in Hamlet. Yeah. So a lot of people from Rockingham, Richmond County worked for the railroad, and to work for the railroad was a big deal. Like you were big time. You were making money.
You made money.
You were rich if you worked for the railroad.
That's right.
So, I remember driving by there here and there, and I didn't really pay much attention to that Hamlet yard. I just knew it looked a mess. It was dirty. That's about all I knew about it. I never looked at it and said, oh, wow, I want to work there one day. That's what I want to do. I definitely did not. And it just sort of it's interesting that I ended up working for that railroad yard. That shop in Hamlet is owned by CSX Transportation, and that's who I went to work for. Shocking, but what helped me to get that job was the fact that when I went to Georgia Tech, I made the decision to co-op for a year. And co-oping meant that I would work every other quarter at some company, in my field of my career choice in engineering. So when the opportunity came up, I said, well, do I really want to do this? Because it's going to delay my graduation. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm not trying to stay in Georgia Tech. Honestly, I did not like Georgia Tech. I was trying to get up out of there. But this opportunity came up and I said, well, this will help me with my resume. It'll probably help me get a job when I graduate, because I'll have this engineering experience. And then two, it broke up the monotony and the craziness of being at Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech was no joke. I mean, yeah. The curriculum is
HBCU to Georgia Tech. So that in itself is a culture shock. You go from
it was definitely a culture shock.
Yeah,
culture shock. But I was ready for it. I struggled, but I was ready for it because I came. I had my foundation. I was strong and I was ready. But going back to the job, I did work for Mobil Oil Corporation back up here in Virginia. Actually, I was a project engineer, so I was building gas stations in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So I went around every quarter, every 3 months. I was going around DC, Maryland, Virginia, building mobile gas stations.
Wow.
So, yeah. But that experience allowed me to make money to, help pay for student loans. It also put me in a better position for jobs once I graduated. I had almost a dozen job offers when I graduated from Georgia Tech. And one of the better ones was the CSX Transportation, which was located in Jacksonville, Florida. They had what they call the management training program, which would allow me to, for 1 year, travel all over the CSX transportation system, all over the United States, and get to know the different departments of CSX transportation. So that once I finished, I would have a well-rounded view of the system, what railroading is, what it involves, which most people did not get, but that would help me to be a better railroad employee. So the money was good. It was in Florida. I said, oh, they have beaches in Florida, so let's try it out. I really had not intended to stay there for long. But yeah, so I did that, and I went to work for CSX Transportation, building and maintaining locomotives for about 2 years. And like I said, Todd and I met in Atlanta. So yeah, 2 years later, we got married. What was that?
He saved you from the underground.
Yes, he saved me from Atlanta Underground, the mall, the Underground Mall in Atlanta, of course. He swept me off my feet, took me away. And then 2 years later, we got, I got married and moved we moved here to DC.
Now, let's go back, because you're the first. When I read this, I was tripping. So you're the first African-American female engineer to be hired by the Federal Railroad Administration.
Yes. Can you believe it?
We've got to pause. First of all, you got all of these offers because you put in some hard work. You're not, you weren't slack. So to my audience, to the young girls, young men who are watching, you're going to have to put in your work because you don't get that kind of offers to do that without being focused. So let me just celebrate you for that. Whatever it was, UNC or Georgia Tech, you somehow managed to stay focused.
Yeah.
And you get this. But come on, let's talk about this Federal Railroad Administration because you're the first one. What's going on with this administration? I mean, you're the first one in what, 93, 94? What is it?
It was 1995 when I was hired on at FRA.
And you're the first one ever?
Can you believe it? In 1995, I was the first African-American female engineer hired at FRA. So it was lonely. There were not a lot of people that looked like me. I did not have a support system there. I don't, and I'm going to check the statistics, but I don't remember. Now there may have been, but I don't even remember any African American male engineers. So it was just me. So whatever I would do, or when I would go travel to these international conferences and conferences around the United States, sharing my research, presenting my research, a lot of times it was still just me.
Wow.
So it's kind of, I think back on, I'm like, wow, it's interesting. My daughter made me laugh because she said, "Mom, she's like, that's some Rosa Parks stuff right there." She's like, "You're the Rosa Parks of FRA."
You are the Rosa Parks of FRA.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yes. So it was interesting, but I was ready for it. And I'm always up for a challenge. So, it was definitely a challenge. Every day working in the railroading industry was definitely a challenge. Even at CSX, I would go out to the shops, and I had to get to know people that would kind of protect me, because when they saw me coming from headquarters, telling them what to do,
right?
And you know what these shops look like. Most of them look like not like me.
Right.
And they were like, "Oh no, you're not going to tell me what to do. Who do you think you are?" I would just get everything. I had to people stand in front of the bathroom doors when I went to use the restroom in some of the shops. Yeah. Some shops they wouldn't even allow me to go to because it was dangerous for people that look like me.
Wow.
So
now, Todd says
this was in the 90s.
Yeah. And Todd says something here. He says they all thought she was a secretary at international conferences. Y'all, I mean, we're talking about something in 1995. She's the first one. You can imagine what she's having to endure as a African American female must be and a male Caucasian male dominated business. And so how did you overcome that? And why did you stay? Why did you want to stay? Why didn't you want to leave?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think because this is just kind of what I've been used to. So I was determined not to let anybody sway me or deter me from what I knew I could and wanted to do.
That's good.
And a lot of that was instilled in me with, kind of at North Carolina Central, and my mom too. She's a strong woman, a pillar in the community with everything that she has done. And so it's just in me and in my nature to be successful and not let anybody sway or deter you from your goals and what you plan to do. I even dealt with this kind of thing, this discrimination and stuff at Georgia Tech as well. So, I would get there and I was in classes and it was just me.
Yeah.
It was me and it was the other people that didn't look like me. And they didn't want to help me with work. They didn't want, and they had this little system that I didn't know about. I'm sitting over here. I would study every weekend. I wouldn't go out. People would come see me in Atlanta and say, "Monique, let's go out. Let's do this." I didn't even know where to go because I never went out because I was always studying. I was determined I was not going to be defeated. So I'm sitting here memorizing, formulas, all this other stuff, while the other group of people, they had a little system that Monique didn't know about, but or people like me didn't know about. But I finally got hip to it, and I was like, "Okay, all right, got you. I'm gonna do the same. I got you." So, but yeah, I dealt with that kind of thing at in my engineering classes. Then I dealt with it again at CSX at the railroad. And, it wasn't so bad at FRA, but still it was just me. So, and, you just have to have a lot of grit. You have to have determination. You have to be positive and have self-confidence and know who you are. Don't let anybody else or any situation define you and determine what your future looks like. And you have to be undeniable. I always make sure that I have the knowledge base and I know what I need to know to be able to present it and present myself in a way that's that I will, be respectful, proud of what I'm presenting and bringing to the table, to the presentation, to the conference, to the meeting, because I'm not only representing me, I'm representing everybody else that looks like me. So, yeah, I there were many meetings that I was in and people were asking me to bring them coffee. Can you go get the papers off the copier? are you here? Can you go get the fact? Are you taking meeting minutes? Things like that. So that would just fuel me. Inside it would,
Wow.
ugh, it would get to me, but it would fuel me. I'm like, oh no, not today. So yeah.
To that young person out there, when you run up against the opposition, what you're hearing from her is use that as fuel. Don't use that as a breakdown. Don't use that as a mechanism to run away. Use it as fuel to be able to say, no, I'm gonna work around this. You won't break me. And so I think that is absolutely powerful. Do you get that from mom? Because I see Lisa and Marissa is they giving all kind of love to mom.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. She is my mom. She's like a gentle giant. She just amazes me. She has always she's always her thing that she's always told us, it's the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated, as you wish to be treated. And she has always done that. She's always lived by that. She's been just, the ultimate example for us. And, just strong no matter what, so something she would have to put up or deal with, we were like, but yeah, she's always determined and strong to, give back, to putting her family first, putting God first, giving back to the community. And just always having a smile on her face and just living with such grace and God fearing. She's just, incredible. So, she is, the reason why I am who I am today. And I'm sure I can speak for my sisters too. Yeah. And I'm not gonna leave my dad out. He's always there for us as well. Whenever we, needed things or needed to talk to him and stuff. Granted, they weren't together, but, it was still nice to know that we could, talk to him and, converse with him when we needed to. So, yeah.
It's all right. We'll celebrate Pops right now. It's just it is such, it's so refreshing to be able to see our women. And I can honestly say that, the African-American woman to me is just absolutely phenomenal. And so to be able to celebrate you all and have a whole month to be able to do that. And I even, I don't know your sisters, but I celebrate them on whatever accomplishments that they have done, because you all have proven to just persevere against some crazy odds.
Yeah,
and
you're right. I mean, we were basically, just kind of raised by, a single mom who did her best, and we all ended up in technical career fields. My sister Marissa and I are mechanical engineers. Lisa's in the computer science and technology. So I think, my mom did pretty doggone well.
I think she did pretty good.
Yeah, she did pretty good. And like I said, she's an unsung hero, because not only is she our mom, she's mom to a lot of other people in Richmond County, and my cousins and everybody else, and aunts and uncles, and yeah. So she goes nonstop. I don't know how she does it. I probably get that from her too, because as soon as I sit down at night, I pass out because I'm so tired from constantly going. Going and giving.
Going and giving. So you do this, and then you're getting into all of this. You're doing brakes and wheel bearing, roller bearings and equipment and health monitoring. And now you're a team lead workforce. I mean, how is that? I mean, this is the little cheerleader from Richmond. See, you ain't that big, but you dealing with all of this with the wheels and the brakes and that seemed to be. It feels like it would be a dirty thing to go out there on the train tracks to be able.
It is.
And so how did you adjust to all of that? And you just fell in love with that part of the mechanical engineering to be able to help with that part?
That part was definitely exciting for me, because it kept my job interesting. It keeps my job interesting, I should say. Granted, I do a lot of work and research in the office. So yes, I should say, I think you said one of your previous guests mentioned you have to do a lot of reading. I do have to do a lot of reading as well, reading and writing.
You have 60 publications, y'all. You done published some stuff. I'm going out there and look it up and see if I can find your name. What you wrote.
Yep, you will probably find my name on some sort of railroading paper or document a report, and don't read it when you're sleepy because you did, or even when you're not sleepy because you're probably gonna go to sleep. Some of them are 100+ pages of just technical information, but anyway, I like it because the research that I do, in the office, I get to go. We have what we call our research center out in Colorado, so that's our playground. So the research that I do in-house and here in DC, I get to go out to Colorado and then purposely crash the trains, just run them into each other. We run them into walls. We have the little crash dummies that sit in the passenger cars and we crash them. So that's the fun part. I go out there, I put on my steel toe boots and my hard hat, my safety glasses. So I take the suit off, the suit and heels off, put the jeans on and the steel toe hat and steel toe boots and the hard hat and the glasses. And I go out there and actually do the research that we have to do, putting the equipment together, getting muddy and dirty and all of that. So
I just want to go see the trains crash. That's all. That's all I want to do. I bet that's fun.
Oh, that's the fun part.
We getting ready to get into the good stuff now, because we were talking. Let me go, because you've done you have a diverse project portfolio of a budget of totaling almost 90 million. Let's talk about that. What's up with $90 million? What you know?
It's a lot. It's a lot of money to manage. And it ends up, when I totaled it, that was like over 86 projects that I manage. Wow. I have a small team of like 3 or 4 people that support me, and it's still a lot trying to balance it all. But, there's nothing like that support system that you have to and I have a great support system. They know how I work. And so they just fall right in sync with me. They know, kind of what I need and, what we need to do. And so it does help to have that team. And for me, it's not about it's always about, we. And that's something else that I've learned is just, having a great support system, which I learned all throughout, high school, at home, my mom, my sisters, my family, out in Piney Grove, which my kids call the village, they were all of that has been part of my support system. And I still have a support system at work that helps me to manage 86 projects. So I really value the support systems that I have and the people, just the human beings and, people that I have around me that might have the strengths that I don't have. I think it's really important in order for you to be successful to make sure that you know yourself enough to know what your strengths are and what your non-strengths are. I don't want to call them weaknesses, but your challenging areas, because those are the areas where you need people around you to hold you up and to be strong for you in the areas where you're not. And then that helps you to be successful. So
that's good, because a person like in your position, sometimes they're arrogant.
Yeah.
They want to know and do all things. And one of the things I pride myself on is being a good leader, but I'm trying in my old age to be a better listener, because you've got to put other people around you to be able to listen so that you can and give people I call empowerment, or celebrate them and then give them the power to be able to do it and let them shine. They will always come back and allow me to shine. I let them shine. And so I had to learn that, along the way. And it seems like you have learned it. You learned it at an early age, that teamwork is very important. And it seemed like Todd seemed like he is part of that teamwork at the crib, helping you do that. So you got teamwork at the village in Piney Grove. Which ain't nothing but a village, y'all. If you go to Grove, it's a village. And the team at the team at college, and the team on your job, and whoever hired you, I am grateful to them for taking the chance.
Yeah, me too.
Or we wouldn't get this opportunity to be able to celebrate you being able to do this. So tell us about these trains. Now let's go back, because trains, I mean, I've been looking at trains since the what 1800s or whatever it is, railroads, and then I'm looking at the trains overseas, and they are flying. I mean,
Yeah.
they going down the road, and so are we in America preparing to do that? I want to be cautious because we still need jobs.
Yeah.
Are we preparing to move to something like that, or what would that take? Because I mean, railroad let me back up. Is the railroad still that important? Because we don't
Yes.
talk about it a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
more.
You're right. You're right. We don't here in the US. They do in other countries, but here in the US, we don't talk about it that much. We don't use it that much. We don't use passenger rail that much.
No.
However, we do use it a lot, freight trains, to move the goods, the food, the furniture, the cars. I mean, all of that does typically move by freight rail, and it moves faster, more efficiently, and in a cleaner manner because many of our trains are using, alternative fuels, which are much cleaner for the environment. Whereas
Okay.
trucks on the highways, you have all these trucks on the highways carrying all this stuff, and you've got the diesel, the exhaust, all of that bad stuff and toxic fumes and everything that's polluting the environment. So trains are actually a much safer, cleaner, healthier way to move. Unfortunately, like I said, people don't use the trains as much here in the US. We have an auto train that leaves from DC and goes to Florida. You can drive your car onto this train, and then you can get on the train. You can sleep on the train and take it all the way to Orlando and get off the train and have your car with you. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but yeah, we have an auto train that you can take.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Well, wait a minute. Do y'all make all them stops? The only reason why I wouldn't take train because they would be stopping in Hamlet. I'd be like, I don't want to stop in Hamlet. I need y'all.
You're trying to get there. I'm trying to get to my destination.
I'm trying to get to my destination. Don't be stopping in these little bitty places.
Exactly.
Come on, get me through.
Well, the auto train does not make as many stops, so that's.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to check that out. The auto train. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. So we have that, but yeah, we are hopeful. We are very hopeful that with this new administration, they are looking at investing quite a lot of resources into improving our rail systems. So I can't wait. I'm hoping that we will have some higher speed trains in the Northeast corridor running from DC to Boston, and hopefully maybe in California, Texas, Florida, who knows? So yeah, I am looking forward to hopefully some faster, newer train service in the United States.
What is that going to take? What is that? I mean, because you sitting in the middle of that, it seems like you're going to have to tab the railroad. You're going to have to tab all of that and then put something else down, because don't they run on, I've been watching too much television, and then I watch too much, boy, I'm getting ready to make you holler. I don't watch too much Black Panther, and that train was running through.
Lord.
We need to get some vibranium or something.
Yeah, right. Vibranium. You are so crazy. Oh yeah, you've been watching too much Black Panther.
I've been watching too much Black Panther.
I wish I could say we're in Wakanda, but we're not. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
So what kind of technology are we having to think about because now you are more specifically dealing with stopping the trains, or how do you stop them? So there's another group of people who will be dealing with, I guess, what is the mechanism? Is it floating? Is it what's happening that makes it that it needs to go faster?
Yeah.
Now I'm being nosy.
Yeah. So, in order for us to have higher speed trains here in the United States, we pretty much need to redo our infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I'm talking about the railroad tracks. There's no way we could run we could run fast trains on the railroad tracks that we have now, because these railroad tracks were laid back in the 1800s, and they don't have the strength or integrity that will be needed in order to run a fast train running it 200, 300 miles an hour. Otherwise, I mean, if we try that, it would just rip it up out the ground. So, yes, it will take a lot of money and resources to be able to replace track in certain areas so that we can run faster trains. So, that has always been the challenge, is whether Congress would be willing to spend trillions of dollars to replace the railroad tracks in the United States so we could have faster trains. So that's what it's going to take. Definitely the railroad tracks need to be improved. If we are able to do that, I would work on the equipment part of it, because I think, like you said in my bio, I work on anything above the railroad track. So my focus is the brakes, the wheels, the roller bearings. So I would be working on that equipment to make sure that we have, equipment that could be run in high-speed trains.
I got you. And so
Yeah.
that's the purpose why you have to go overseas to find out what kind of material that they're. But the reason why I'm going this way is because somebody may listen to this. There are more opportunities for you to think about being successful, because you got to have some level of the material. You've got to be able to. There are other ways that you can get wealthy, that you can make an impact. There are just different things that's going on, and it's not just limited to my brain to be able to say, oh, you just do the thing and you blow the horn and it moves down the track. There are so many other pieces. When you were talking about engineering, and I wanted to throw this out, like your one of your sisters is doing something with patent, and I'm thinking that there are different areas of just this part that people can be successful in.
Absolutely.
So I don't want anybody to limit themselves to think, because we only see one thing on television,
right?
And that's what we hold our hat to. Like I tell people in the music industry, the people who write the songs, make the money. It's not the artists you see. That's
exactly.
There are publicists, there are agents, there are just different ways. There are lawyers, there are entertainment law. There are just different ways for you to make money. And my son is in the business, and so he's learning that you don't have to be just an entertainer to be able to make. You can write hooks and be wealthy, and nobody knows you. And I'm trying to convince people: be wealthy. Don't strive to be famous.
Exactly. I hear you, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make those people look appear successful.
The sound engineer, how you think somebody's got to be a sound engineer to be able to make them and shoot all the whatever that stuff they have on stage. You have to be able. There are other ways, and so I wanted to do that. Your job is interesting. Now, do you have any more people who look like you? Because you work with the diversity piece. And so what does that look like in your job to be able to get other people in STEM, if you will, and more specifically in your engineering section? Like what's happening with that?
And that's where we're trying to go with it. We're trying to feed and develop the pipeline. And when I say pipeline, going back to, younger school age children, kindergarten, first grade, elementary school, middle school, we need to reach back. Some people think it's, okay, we just need to go to the high schools and colleges. No, we need to reach back to the early grades and expose kids to railroading and engineering and STEM related careers. Because, usually you hear kids saying, oh, when I grow up, I want to be, a doctor, a lawyer, a fireman, a policeman, what have you. But you never hear them. It's rare that you hear them saying, oh, I want to be an engineer. You definitely don't hear them saying, oh, when I grow up, I want to go work for the railroad.
Right.
Nope. Because, unless their mother, their father, or their grandfather worked for the railroad, they're not going to say that. But if I, for instance, were to go to their elementary school and speak to them about my STEM-related career and what I do for the railroad, that would give them some hope. Like, oh, she looks like me and she works for the railroad. Maybe that's what I want to do. And she does engineering, and she had to do, get good grades in math and science. That's what I want to do. So, that's why I'm very passionate about going out and speaking to kids about my job and what I do. We definitely don't have enough representation in the STEM fields at all. We don't have enough. So we have a lot we need to do, in the lower grades, middle school, high school, and everybody's not college material. So some people do go to vocational technical schools, community colleges, which is just fine. Everybody has a different journey and a different path that they take to success. That's fine. You don't have to do what society thinks or tells you should do. You don't, everybody's not college material. So, the railroads, I know for sure, need blue collar workers to, do the welding and things like that and that type of construction. And we are actually running into a situation where we don't have the talent pool to pull from. There are not a lot of, students that are going into, engineering or boiler making or welding. So yeah, the jobs are few and far between. We need people in those areas, but we cannot find them.
Wow.
So, yeah. The jobs are there. So that's what I'm working on, trying to, build up the STEM, the interest from kids to be interested in STEM so that they will go into fields, major in fields that, we can use them in for engineering, or you go into, like I said, welding or something, because we need you. So.
How can we help? Let's, because here's my serious part now. How can we help? Because I have a young daughter. I have some level of influence with some people. Some people listen to me, some people don't. But but we have this whole pipeline of now our age.
Mm-hmm.
People are having children or had children, or maybe they're having grandchildren now in some cases. So what can we do to help steer especially our young African-American little girls to be able to get into this thing called STEM? You come with a passion for it, and it looks like your siblings come with a passion for it.
Yeah.
Is there something we can do who are not necessarily in STEM? Can we help? How can we help?
Yeah, I would say anything you can do to try to expose them to different career fields, and whether it's taking them to a museum, even like if you're watching a movie like Black Panther, there is engineering, there's some STEM related fields that went into making that movie. So you have to take, teachable moments where you see that, okay, something that you see or do was STEM related. If you have friends that are, in STEM career fields, have them talk to your kids, or have the kids talk to them. Now there's so many different seminars and virtual workshops and all that because of COVID, that they can actually watch. We can pull from YouTube or whatever and have them watch. In trying to encourage, people that are in STEM careers to do things kind of like that I'm doing now, sharing my career and what I do, either virtually or actually going to the schools. Actually, last week I did a virtual session with West Rockingham School. Yeah, it was virtual. It was a first grade class at West Rockingham. And I just kind of, met with the teachers and shared with them what I do in my job every day. I showed them some videos of trains crashing. They were just so excited. They were just thrilled. So doing things like that, especially again, now we know we can do things virtually. Right. These are things that we can do. I actually did another one with Mineral Springs in Ellerbe with their third graders. So we just have to get out there, and those of us in these STEM careers need to share. We need to share and expose kids and youth to what we do, and the excitement around it. We can't do it, oh yeah, this is what I do, and it's all right. If you're not excited and passionate about it, don't share it, because it's gonna be hard to motivate somebody.
Yeah, when you go to I am so silly. When you go to the Black Panther, I was always intrigued by the girl who had all the gadgets. The
right?
young, I wanted the gadgets.
She's my favorite. Oh
She's
my,
my favorite. I wanted them
oh,
gadgets, and she
yes,
had the little shield and stuff. I was like, I
everything.
need that shield right there, girl. That's
Yes,
what I need. And that
yes.
little wrist thing, I wanted that too. I
Mhm,
just,
mhm.
but
And
I'm
see,
not a condo.
that's society, that's entertainment, that's you know, the entertainment industry showing us in a positive light in the fact that yeah,
Yes,
black people know something about some technology. We can
yes,
do this, you
yes,
know, so that in itself should excite, you know,
yeah.
kids to want to go into STEM related fields. So
And I don't want to switch industries, but just when you're saying it, if you're working on brakes, then I guess it's a mechanical engineer that's working on the brakes for an airline too.
yes, yes, absolutely, yep.
You know what I mean, because I'm saying to that audience, you can do this,
Yeah,
especially if you just put your mind to it and
yeah,
focus in on it.
yeah.
Um,
And you don't even have to be in the railroad. And we actually do have psychologists, we have journalists, we have political science majors. So you don't necessarily have to be an engineer either. So we do have a lot of other fields that work in the railroad industry. Attorneys, of course.
yeah, of course, y'all need those.
Yeah.
So, big question: how does it feel to be the first? How does it feel to be a trailblazer? When you come out of Rockingham, did you ever think in all of you, I'm going to be a trailblazer? I'm going to be the first to actually do something. And how does that make you feel, having accomplished that? Because do you sit back and say, "Phew, do you ever take a moment to say, I did it. I did something."
Yeah. I yeah, it still seems surreal. Like, did I really and it's kind of sad to say that in 95 I was the first.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so it is kind of it is amazing. And like you said, I can't believe I did that. My sisters call me Black History. They're like, oh, what's Black History? We need you to do this, this, and that.
Oh, that's our new name now.
Yeah,
Black is.
Black History. You know, during Black History Month, it was all over the place. So that's yeah. But yes, it is, it's amazing. But it's also it that also kind of fuels me and inspires me to try to make it such that, you know, I'm not the first nor the last, you know.
Right.
We do have now, that was in 95 when I was hired. Here in 2020, 2021, we have one, I think I mentioned we have one more Black female engineer. So it's kind of
Exactly.
sad that 25 years later, we have two Black female engineers. That's not good.
That is not good.
So, you know, we have to, that, like I said, that, you know, I want to make sure, you know, if I'm going to be a trailblazer, to me, that's a responsibility that I have to make sure that I bring others right along with me. If I could do it, you know, I could bring others along to do it as well. And it's kind of interesting too, because I think about it, I was like, wow, look at this legacy that I'm leaving behind, that I would leave behind, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
It's
sometimes
hard.
you think about that, like what is the legacy that I want to leave behind? What do I want people to remember me for
That's right.
or by? You
Yeah.
know, what is it? What is my purpose here on earth? What, you know,
Yeah.
God, you know, what's my purpose? What'd you put me here to do? You know, I feel like I know, but I do feel like this is part of it. You know, if I was the first, of course I have to reach back, you know, and bring others with me. You have to give back. And that's definitely something that, you know, I look to do being in this position
I,
as
I
the
love
first.
Rockingham Rosa Parks. Listen, Miss Black
Rocking and
History.
rolling.
You are impressive. Thank you so much. But tell me a little bit. You are impressive. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're a fitness guru. I saw some pictures, Todd, and she looked like she just like is still a fitness guru. Todd, I ain't seen no pictures of you on the fitness guru. We got to talk. And
Yeah.
and so the the question is, how do you manage it all? And not lose it, not I mean, how do you manage all of that? And I think that is so impressive to be, um, being a wife is already a difficult thing. To me, being a mother is one of the most difficult things that you're ever going to do in your life, and then you're a trailblazer all on top of that. And so how do you do it?
Yeah, it's all about Balance, that's for sure. Appreciation for, what I have, who I am. It's definitely for me, family first, God first. So they are my why. Everything that I do
Ooh.
is for, my family, my kids, my husband. And they are behind me 150%. So like even when I'm in competition mode, you'll see Todd or the kids are in there making homemade almond butter or making almond milk. They're at the gym with me. It was nothing to see, and in the gym, we're like it's part of the family there. Everybody knows us. They know the entire family because when I'm training in the gym, my whole family's in there with me. So even Todd, the kids would train because Lexi and Brendan ran track. So they would train in the mornings with me at 5-6 o'clock in the morning before they go to school.
Oh,
And then
wow.
yeah. So they would train in the morning before they go to school, and then they would train with their teams afterwards, after school. So, and we'd have, my youngest Christian would be in there with us sometimes too. So we're all in the gym together, all supporting, and we're all very supportive of each other's goals. So again, it's that support system, that I have that kind of keeps me going and keeps me balanced. We all try to do the team effort type thing. So, so
I'm laughing because your husband is crazy. Listen to this. He talking about, I was like you, Bishop, great athlete in high school and college. It was a good run. Now I'm just trying to enjoy myself. Tell Monique I'm not going to the gum
to the gym, the gym at
at
5
5
a.m.
a.m.
He's not going to the gym at 5 a.m. no more.
I ain't doing it no more. It's over. You can forget that.
Oh,
I like you. I'm gonna have you on just
right. You might just have to have Todd on.
Just to have
the other half.
He said, I ain't going to no gym no more. It was a great run. You like
a great run, but I'm
it was
done.
a great run while we had it. God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you.
Yes. But he was absolutely there with me, right by my side, coaching me wrong. So good. Honestly, between you and me, I think he just enjoyed being in the gym, telling me what to do.
Now, you know what? That sounds like that would be fun though, to be lift that. Come on. Come on.
Like he the boss of me. Come on, you got it. Lift more.
Two more.
two more. Oh boy. But it's good though, because my goals actually, I think, help my kids to also reach their goals. They started training differently. They started eating differently. So I was, trying to set the example for them. And I think it worked. So yeah.
That is good. You got them involved now, because she was telling me I told her in 2020, I gained 20. So I picked up 20 in 2020. And I was when I saw her picture, I was going to try to do better. And she talking about, you got to eat like 5 or 6 times a day, little meals. Mm-hmm. My problem is that those little meals just turn into big meals. And
you just put them all together. Put all these little meals together.
Oh. Just
to make 1 or 2 meals. Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline and sacrifice. I have to do a lot of meal prep, and the kids and Todd would help me do the meal prep. So
I love that. That's a good process.
Now sometimes they look at me sideways because I'm have to admit always late somewhere because I'm meal prepping, trying to put my food together.
I absolutely love
it. Just roll with it. So
2 questions and then we out of here. This has been such a wonderful session tonight. So what does it take to make it in this mostly male industry? Like, what is it what do you really have to have? Because there may be a young girl, young boy that is in whatever industry that they're in. They may be in it by themselves, or there may be just a few of them in it. Mm-hmm. What has kept you? And you've given us a lot to think about. But, I mean, you're a trailblazer for real. I mean, without the without the television and all that good stuff. And this is why I wanted to do this segment, because I wanted to let people know I appreciate the Oprahs and I appreciate the Gales and I appreciate the Beyoncés, but there are some people who are right. You're looking past them that are accomplishing some great things, and you are one of those
Thank you.
people that really, I may not be, my daughter may not be able to ever meet Oprah, but my daughter can be inspired by you.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
touchable. And so
Yeah.
what does it take? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to do? What does that person have to do to maintain? How can they sustain?
Yeah. So, yeah, you definitely have to be strong, strong-willed, strong, thick skin, because there will be days. There will be days when you just have to. I mean, I know there were days where I had to go in the bathroom and just like, wait a minute, okay, Lord help me, give me strength before I say what I don't need to be saying to this person.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely takes a lot of strength, willpower, like I said, self-confidence, and just knowing that you are worthy. You
Mm,
are worthy of where you are and the position where you are. Do not sell yourself short for anything, and just know that you are deserving and you are worthy. And that person over there puts their pants on the same way you do, or their dress on the same way you do. They're no better than you. They're not any better than you are. So you deserve to be in that position just like they do. And you have to go into it knowing that, sometimes every day, just saying, talking, building yourself up, talking yourself up, prepping yourself, motivating yourself. Okay, it's another day. I've got this. I don't care. It doesn't matter what they say. I mean, you just think back to what some of our ancestors had to deal with. What
yeah.
we have to deal with now is nothing compared to some of the stuff
Compared.
that our
Yeah.
ancestors had to deal with back in the day. So that also gives me strength too. Just knowing how tough it was for them. Yeah, I might be a trailblazer, but I sure didn't go through some of the stuff that some of my ancestors had to go through. So we stand on their shoulders, and you have to stand on their shoulders and hopefully believe that you're making them proud.
Yeah.
I'm making my ancestors proud, my mom proud, my dad, my family, my husband, my kids. So I'm representing them, so I have
Yeah.
to be cognizant of what I'm bringing to the table and how I represent myself and them. And also be an example for my kids, or for my nieces and nephews. You can do anything that you set out to do. You set goals for yourself and you follow them through. If they don't work out, oh well, you brush yourself off and get back up and keep on going. Because you have to believe that you will not be denied. You are undeniable. That's kind of my thought. And then once you get there, you bring others along with you. Giving back definitely is important, and that's one of the things that I definitely feel is very important to, once you get there, to bring others with you. And I think you said it too, just being a leader and getting in those positions. Appreciate the people that you have around you. And once you show that appreciation and trust that you have in them, they will do anything for you because they know that you are sincere and that you have their back. And to me, as a leader, it's my job to basically aspire to inspire. I want to make sure that, as a leader, I want to teach others to be leaders. As a supervisor or a boss, I want to teach others to be able to take my position one day. So I want to feed and give them everything that they need to be successful and hopefully, be in my position when they take my job. Then I feel good knowing that I've done what I needed to do. Because you have some bosses that, like, they're not trying to help you at all, not trying to help you with a career advancement or development, which is unfortunate. And so when you do that to others, they're not going to work for you. They're not going to rally around you and support you and build you up and hold you up. So for me, I definitely when I'm there in that position, or once I get there, I definitely want to make sure that I'm surrounded with people that support me and that compliment me. Not complimenting is good, but you know what I'm saying. They're like-minded, I should say.
I just want to say to you, I appreciate you. I'm so grateful that I know you in whatever little capacity that I do know you from that small. And I'm glad you didn't forget me when I called.
Of course not.
Because you are absolutely a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you.
We are celebrating women, and man, boy, do you fit right in
Thank
to
you.
what we are doing. I'm excited about your journey, everything that you've had to go through, and you definitely don't look like anything that you've gone through. You have managed to maintain. I appreciate. I don't even know him, but I like him. I like Todd already. I mean, I just
We have to arrange for you guys to meet someday for sure.
I got to make this as soon as this COVID and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, because he seems like you all are just doing such a wonderful job of supporting, and I celebrate you. I really do. I'm so proud of you. I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you and your sisters. It seems like you guys have done an excellent, excellent job. And kudos to mom and dad. Kudos to mom for making you all and helping you all grow into these strong, phenomenal women and doing that. And we don't do enough of this. One of the reasons that I did Behind the Veil is because, as a priest, we don't get an opportunity to say these kinds of things from the pulpit. And so I needed to create another forum to be able to talk about stuff that you just don't get a chance to say on Sunday morning. We're trying to get the word into people, but we miss celebrating the accomplishments. And you fit in this. I mean, congratulations on being the first, whatever, and any other first you gonna do, and running the company, whatever it is that you aspire to do, staying in shape. I guess you're gonna help us out one day. We gonna one day, Lord. I don't know, Todd. I'm like you, man. I think that ship has sailed. We just let the Lord work with us where we are right now.
Right. Meet me where I am, right?
Meet me right where I am. I'll see you when you get back from the gym at 8:00.
See you
after
get back.
I have had my coffee.
Oh gosh. Oh,
Todd celebrates. Todd, I like him. He says, "Thanks for this platform and discussion this evening. Tell Monique she better not fall asleep downstairs because her husband is going to be upset."
This man. Yeah, yep. He knows my nightly routine. I told you, I'll sit on that chair, and next thing you know, boom, I'm gone. The head.
He also celebrates the Ferguson girls or something else. My sisters always look out for me. I wanted to post those two things. I appreciate you. I thank you for joining me behind the veil. If there's anything I can do to push you even further, just let me know. Whatever gift I have, whatever platform I have, it is definitely open up for you. And I appreciate you tonight for joining me for this wonderful time.
Thank you. I mean, thank you for inviting me and giving me this platform to share my story and my family's story. And I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that you're doing this. So keep doing what you're doing behind the veil, keep having these. And I'm going to have to make sure that I tune in, myself, because like you said, you're sharing stories that, you can't, like you said, may not be able to share it on, Sunday morning or whatever. So thank you for getting these, sharing these wonderful stories and allowing, us to have the platform to do so. So I appreciate it.
Next time I need to get all three of the Ferguson sisters and put y'all on here, and let's find out which one is which. And because it feels like there's a lot of competition going up in that piece and stuff like that. Todd and I are going to moderate that session.
Right. Whoa, that'll be a funny one. Oh
Oh,
my
that would
goodness.
be
It will
hilarious.
be, yeah, in stitches laughing.
Listen, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're going to share
I
this and
appreciate
just
you
let
too.
people know. Hey, you all share this and get this out. This is so powerful. Rockingham is in the house. Richmond County is in the house, and more importantly, here we go, Todd. Mrs. Monique Ferguson Stewart
Mrs.
has been our guest
Oh God.
behind the veil, and she has shared with us. Wait a minute, yes, Lisa said she's there if you want to do it, and Marissa said yes, that would be awesome. So we're gonna have to do it and see if we can get the three sisters on and talk about sisterhood and success. That's going to be absolutely fun. I'm gonna make it happen, y'all. I'm gonna do it.
That'll be fun.
That will be fun. Thank you all so much for joining me. Look, my name is Stephen Williams. I'm gonna tell y'all two funny stories as I go. I was at Stephanie's wedding, and I sang at Stephanie's funeral, y'all. And Monique didn't know me. She didn't even know I was in the building. That is so horrible. And those were two of my best singing times when I had good voice and everything. And I put stuff into them singings, and you ain't even know I was in the
I
building.
know. I didn't even know. I totally
Spirit
missed
of
it.
God,
I missed your beautiful singing. One of the two beautiful singing times. And I missed it. And I was standing right there.
standing right there. Didn't
And
even
missed it.
know it. Lord have mercy.
Oh God.
Thank you so much. Listen, join me next week. I got to pull this up because I got to say, listen, I'm celebrating another young lady. Thank you all for joining me for Behind the Veil. And as we continue to celebrate our women's history this month, join me next week as I celebrate Dr. Karen T. Williams. And she's one of the first medical doctors in her family, and we're going to talk about that and her journey. And we're celebrating you all. Man, I appreciate you. I'm so proud of you. I want to push you as high as you want to go. I want you to do great things, y'all. Thank you so much, Mrs. Stewart, for hanging out with us tonight. I gotta go.
Thank you.
I got to get out of here, and I appreciate you all doing this. My name is Stephen Williams. They call me the Good Bishop, and thank you for joining me for Behind the Veil. We got to get out of here. This is another one of them songs that's going to be good. Me and Monique going to hang out just for a little bit so she don't fall out on the couch and stuff.
Right.
Like
Exactly. Help Todd out. Help him out.
Hey, y'all keep pressing. You got victory. Stay focused. Take all of these things that she said and make sure you stay the course. You can accomplish it and do great things. Again, thank you for joining me for Behind the Veil. This is Stephen Williams. I got to sign off, y'all. Let Todd get me. Bye.